Yes, yes, yes. I'd like to report a stabbing. Yes, yes. It's just after midnight. Yes. At Onigashima Avenue, I think. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. A stabbing. Yes, yes. I've got his card right here. It says Kaido. He works at the 100 Beast Pirates. Yeah, yeah. What happened? How did this happen? That's a good question. Okay, guys. Yeah, this happened. Kaido got stabbed, and you know what? I feel like the whole fan base. Maybe it was a trick to just destroy the whole fan base's mind, and that's it. You know what? We could end the video here, and that could be the explanation as to why and how Kaido got stabbed. Or we could just go a bit deeper and, you know what, try to make up some plausible explanation that makes sense. So let's do that. But at the end of the day, we all know we're just trying to shake up the fan base a little bit. Okay? So let's put some pieces together. So what do we know about Kaido and why he would get stabbed? Now, as far as we know, Kaido is claimed to be immortal. Claimed. And he's also got very, tough skin. I don't know if you want to say skin, scales. He's very tough as a person. And so, looking at that, I guess the only things in the series that make sense is Haki. Unless he's not human, of course. There is that theory still going out that Kaido is a dragon that ate a human fruit model only, and that his true form is a dragon. But, the one that we see, the person that was introduced, that's the devil fruit. So maybe that's it. Maybe. And we could end the video there once again. But it could also just be Haki or other stuff. Now, if it's Haki, I think that one thing that goes into that is your will. I mean, just also the literal translation and how Haki works. It is your will and, just where you are mentally speaking in a mental space. Katakuri talked about this in Whole Cake Island where, his advanced future sight and all that, whatever you want to call it, he needs to be of a calm mind, sound judgment to be able to see into the future the way he does. And I guess it's the same for Kaido. I'd also dare say it's the same for Big Mom. And what we saw when the picture broke and she was not in a good mental space, very terrible mental space, and we saw a crack in her armor, so to say. I think it's the same for Kaido. And I think for Kaido, his trauma is, with Odin. I think that is the most... I think that experience as a whole for Kaido has touched him in such a way that even maybe he doesn't fully understand, because I feel like he has so much PTSD from that day. We have that panel where he mentions, stay out of Wano or get out of Wano or something like that. And I think at that point, that was when Kaido was, Kaido may have just seen his life flash before his eyes. It may not have been done as well in the manga, but maybe we'll get it better in the anime. I think Kaido may have just seen his whole life and all his decisions flash before his eyes in that moment. And he still has PTSD from that day when his will was essentially broken. Before he started breaking other people's will, I think he started off with getting his will broken. So I think that whenever he imagines and thinks back to that moment and relives it, it's like his will is broken. And so the Haki armor that keeps him as tough as he is starts to crack. Now that doesn't explain fully why, because I'm pretty sure Kaido's had many enemies over the years, and I'd like to talk about the Haki that the Scabbards possess, because at the end of the day now it's a question of who has this advanced Ryo or Haki, who doesn't, how do we know? For the Scabbards at least, I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt of, being known as like the strongest samurai of Wano, first of all. Having the feats they've had as well, going up against King, Queen, and the other All-Stars 20 years ago whilst Kaido and Odin were fighting. Denjiro, who's been in the capital for so long, Like all their experiences together, you know, Ashura Doji running the whole of Kuri, you know, a whole section of the country on his own, not just as an outlaw. Just some of their reputations, I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt because of that. And for those who want harder proof, is that Hyogoro talked about the ryo that he was teaching Luffy, that, you know, there's so many samurai in Wano who already have that. So if there's so many samurai in Wano who already have the ryo that Hyogoro is teaching Luffy, not just basic ryo, which is just armament haki, but the level which you're teaching Luffy, then I could argue and say that, you know, the scabbards who are not above average, far above average, should have far above average haki. And I think that in this moment that we had in 987, there's two things going on considering the context. One, we have Kaido's haki going down and the scabbard's haki going up. Well, it's already high, but going up a bit just because of, you know, the resolve they had in that moment to basically die. That's what it takes. So I think where both of them meet is where that stabbing happened. I could put that as a location. Okay, I'll tell them when I'm done. And I think that's how that happened as far as the stabbing is concerned. Now, what does this mean for Kaido going forward into the rest of the arc, into the rest of this war? Is that how it's going to continue going? I don't think so. I think that this moment was a once-off. I think that this, you know, failure to maintain his haki, his strength, it's a momentary thing. It's not going to be, you know, perpetual throughout the rest of the arc, and that's how we're going to win against Kaido. I think it's something that was there for the moment. It added to the situation, and it's done now. It's more or less done. And I think that from now, Kaido's haki is just going back up, you know, because he even claimed to himself, I don't know, maybe he was trying to convince himself, but, you know, or just say to everyone that, you know what, I'm going to show you the strongest power in the world. So now we can be sure that his haki is going back up. Maybe it might not be where it's supposed to be at the top there yet, and I don't think it will for a while, but I think it's going back up now that he's, you know, composed himself. He understands that it's a raid going on right now. It's not uncalculated attacks. It's planned. This is going down. I think now he's a bit more, you know, I don't know if I can say combobulated, because discombobulated. I just want to say the opposite of discombobulated. So yeah, he's the opposite of discombobulated right now. And he's getting his bearings. He's getting into it again. So I think Kaido from now on, his haki is going to go back up. And I say go back up and not just pop up at the top again, because I think we need to see two things. One, we need to see the scabbard slowly lose to Kaido, and maybe have that switch with Kid or Luffy or both, and then have the two of them kind of fight Kaido and it being effective. But while Kaido's haki is going up, their haki is blooming and it's also going up, and so the fight can like maintain some kind of balance throughout. I think that's what we really need for this all to work out. Because if Kaido's haki just goes all the way back to the top, like, there's no way, everyone's done for. So I think we really need to see it happen slowly over time, so that the characters, you know, they can get used to it. They can lose slowly or win slowly, whichever one is important in that situation. Anyway, guys, that's just this video. Really quick, much shorter than I've done in a while, yeah? But anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below. What do you think? What's happening with Kaido's ryo? What was that stabbing about? And you know what? We'll see. We'll discuss. We'll maybe revise our thoughts. Anyway, guys, like the video. If you like the video, I would not encourage you to dislike the video. You can keep on moving to the next one. If you know someone who needs to hear the truth, who's confused with everything that happened so far, share this video with them. If you have time, watch one more video. If not, I'll see you in the next one. This is King KZ, and I'm out. Yeah? Yeah, so that's basically how it happened. Yeah. 20 minutes, but I gotta get home. Yeah. You know, new chapter of One Piece just came out. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll leave my card. Okay.